Hello and welcome to a new episode of T.A.I Talks. I'm your host tonight. My name is Eric Lindemann, for those who don't know me. And I'm very much looking forward to welcoming our guests today. It's Marcin Malek and Andrew Wayland from TIFAM, Ireland. Welcome, Marcin, and hello, Andrew. It's great to have you both here on our panel for the T.A.I Talks interview. First of all, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's start with Andrew.
Hello, Eric. My name is Andrew Wayland. I'm from outside New Ross in County Wexford in Ireland. I suppose I am chairperson of the Irish Field Archery magazine and monthly, and we have been involved in that in a few years. I've been doing archery since 2004, but I would have, as a kid, played around with bows and arrows, so I've always had an interest in that sport. So.
Thank you, Andrew. Marcin, please introduce yourself.
Look, my name is Marcin Malek. I also live here in Ireland, although I come from Poland originally, but I live here around 20 years. Now, I live in the county Laois, in the central part of Ireland. I'm 51. I'm also a part of TIFAM magazine, where I serve as editor-in-chief. And I do the archery since I remember, since I was a teenager, maybe.
Thank you for being here. Let's go to the main subject. How did you get into archery, and tell us how long have you been shooting? Marcin, please.
Myself, I am shooting since I was teenager, a scout boy. Then I have a little bit short break, but I'm 51 years old now, so it's a very long way back since I do the archery.
Andrew, what about you?
Yeah, well, like Martin, I am 51 as well. I used to be a coach in a local badminton team, and for one reason or another, the club had to close down. So somebody told me weeks later they're doing archery in this particular hall, which was a small little hall, and I laughed at them and I said, "There's no way you can do archery in that little hall." And they said, "Go down and see." And sure enough, they were doing archery. My then coach, a man called Don Bradley, had set up a club in a small little hall, and I went from there. That was back in 2004.
Yeah, that's amazing. It seems that everybody is, getting into archery just by accident, some way or the other. What experiences have you made since, especially when it comes to archery, Andrew?
Oh, well, I suppose my main experience, and I presume Martian would agree as well, is it's just developing your sport a bit. I'm very interested in traditional archery, but even more so than that, it is meeting people. There's a fantastic community of archers in Ireland, whether you're compound archer or whether you're shooting an English longbow. There's just a great camaraderie around the country. You get to know so many people. There's a respect and just a friendliness. So between the sports, and I've got to a lot of competitions around, I find it's the friendships that you make along the way, lifelong friendships.
Fantastic. Marcin, looking back at your background, you're originally from Poland. I'm not sure, did you start in Poland with archery or was it in Ireland? And tell me a little bit about your experience. It must be quite different, or is it similar to Andrew's?
It's kind of similar, but I started in Poland as a scout boy. It was very, very long time ago. It's in the mid 90s or the beginning of even the beginning of 90s and the end of the 80s. So it's a dinosaur's times now. But I guess then we get a little bit more competitive towards, like Andrew says, it 2004, 5. Then I came back. Then I moved to Ireland, and in Ireland I have a little bit break with the archery. And then in 2017 I came back to it, and I started with the Laois Archery Club here. It's a very friendly club as well. But my experience is like Andrew says, it's mostly not maybe like a sport or competitive thing, not so much, but like community work and community serving and camaraderie and doing it something all together. Because uh, with the way that you can do the archery, you can serve to the archery in a lot of different ways. Especially my way is more community work than sport itself, because I'm a very crappy archer. I'm very bad archer, but I enjoy it anyway.
Fantastic. I mean, it's quite interesting. I mean, Andrew, a little bit more from the sports, competitive way, and you're more from the surrounding social working, community work. It's quite interesting. I mean, this is what nowadays archery is about, basically, when it comes to that, especially when it comes to club work. I mean, we were talking about, your history. When it comes to a practice, and let's go back a little bit to the history of Ireland. Is there any evidence of historical or even prehistoric bows that were used, when it comes to archery? Andrew or Martin, it's up to
Well,
you.
okay. Well, I suppose both of us are very interested in Irish history and world history, and I know we've done a lot of research ourselves on things, and there is evidence of bows in Ireland back to the Bronze Age, and it
Wow.
was originally thought that it had died out in place of, say, the staff sling or the shepherd sling,
Yeah.
various other projectile weapons. But it is after being discovered, they're after finding bows in North Donegal and along the eastern seaboard, that Ireland actually had a very unique bow that's not been seen anywhere else around the world.
Oh,
It was,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, very, very interesting. I know Marshall knows a bit about it as well, but it was about 6 foot long, but instead of having a grooved knock at the top and bottom, they had an eyelet drilled into each end, or at least one end of the bow. So
Okay.
they reckon it was a different way of stringing a bow, and it also had a furrow going down the back of the bow. They're not sure the main reason for that either, but it's they were after finding several remnants of bows. In fact, one almost complete bow in North Donegal. So it's very interesting to know.
Wow. Is there any way, to take? Are there any pictures, posted in the internet or social media where we can
Yeah.
see?
Yes, there's a few people after doing extensive research in it. There's a few online. So if you, for example, were to go, there's the Rambling Kern. He's on YouTube, and he has actually descriptions of this bow. They got extensive research done to them. They were all found preserved in Irish bogs, which
Yeah.
obviously the consistency of the under the ground preserved them for thousands of years. So
There are few bows to see in the National Museum here in Ireland, and also the Archaeological Museum. Probably there is a uh, few pieces you can, and also you can go and check and try to read and the helping books about that. So it's a very interesting thing.
Guys, if you could share a link, where our community of Thai can take a look at it. Down below, we will, for our audience, we will, write a link. You can check, or if you, whoever there is, has a comment to it, where we might, take further links, further pictures. Just write them down in the comments, please.
okay.
When it comes to practice historical and traditional archery, what what you could say is unique in Ireland, which is really unique because, I'll give you just an example. We have the Bosso shooting, which is typical for France. Or, of course, many people know about the Korean shot, which comes, of course, as the name says, from Korea. Is there anything particular you have very unique in Ireland?
Well, I suppose in Ireland, all traditional archery takes place across the board with all the other shooting categories. There are some clubs that have really taken on the traditional side more so than the more modern types of archery. But we all do our archery in unison. As for as for traditional archery, like we've fantastic woodlands and a lot of club interactions. So I suppose there's nothing that really stands out to identify Ireland with traditional archery, except for that we compete and partake in the sport alongside all the other bow types and other archery.
Okay. Um, Martin, from your point of view, what is the status quo of historical and traditional archery in your country right now?
I think it's not so much maybe the status quo because Ireland, in my understanding, it's a country that is built on a tradition, and so whatever new, it's new very short time because it's automatically become the part of this tradition, and I think whatever we do now, it'll be soon, very soon, the tradition here, and because the TIFAM uh, in some way it's the only place that it gathers the history and writes the history of the Irish field archery here, because there is no other medium that does this. So if it's the status quo, I would say it's I know it's not very modest, but I say like uh, the vessel for the status quo is it's now TIFAM, which is preserving this.
I see. I see. Andrew, do you want to add something to that, to my question?
No, just that I suppose, unfortunately in Ireland, I suppose we have a lot of castles and a lot of forts and tower houses. Unfortunately, unlike some countries, we don't get to really promote archery in the traditional way, like some countries. Like it's amazing, like Warwick Castle in the UK and various places across the continent. And it's such a shame because we have some fantastic historical sites, and it would be lovely if we could, demonstrate archery to a deeper, a bigger population, and to a deeper extent. So
Okay, we will come to this topic later in the
yes.
interview. Now, you belong to a very important association, and as we know, you're traditionally structured. How do you organize archery in your association, and what sets you apart from others? Are there any differences, Andrew?
Okay, well, I suppose there's not huge differences. I suppose I don't know if Martian would agree with me on that. It's maybe you might want to take that one, Martian. What do you
No,
think?
so
Yeah.
I think like first of all, as individuals, me, Andrew, and most of the archers that they are involved with TIFAM are the members of IFAF, Irish Field Archery Federation, which is associated with IFA. So we work generally like IFAA. Apart of the uniqueness, it's what I think what would maybe make us different, a little bit different than the other archers, is it's the way we see the community, because the in Ireland community it's a very strong driving force. So the archery it's less for the sport and for the results and everything. And like Andrew mentioned before, here it's mostly for the community and for the camaraderie and for enjoying the sport. It's a very family sport. It's a very friendship-driven sport. So the friendships are lasting for the long times. People seeing each other once or twice in some shoots, and then they keep in the contact. So it's Irish people are very open and very uh, very community orientated. So I think that's the thing which differs us from the rest.
Okay, I mean, just put it in short words. It's a gathering and having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, but having said that, a lot of traditional archers in Ireland are very competitive, and they like to show off their bows, and they like to show their arrows and the work they put into their arrows. There's a lot of pride there, so there would be a competitive nature, but very much participation minded too.
Well, but
Yeah.
I assume it's a competition between or among friends.
Yes.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Um, looking back, what was your greatest success in terms of championships or other events? Could you give Ty, Ty Talks, some insights about your successes and what you're doing?
Okay. Well, I suppose you mean our own personal successes or more the country in the country?
Well, I would say the success of TIFAM.
Okay. Okay.
Let's talk about. I mean, we're talking about TIFAM, and
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
so I'd say the main success of the TIFAM is that it's here because TIFAM is a totally independent entity and it's non-profit foundation for archery and mentorship. Uh, it just run by the bunch of the very dedicated people. We're not financed by anyone. We're sustaining ourselves. We're having the magazine, which is the only source for the information for the field archer. But as far as I know, this is the only printed archery magazine in Ireland. Uh, we're preserving the history. We are in the National Archive now. The National Library gets every issue. We have we have a mission not only to inform but to preserve as well. Even the like we this is a very sad topic to talk, but we have a few. This year was very bad for us because a lot of archers and our colleagues and our friends just passed away. Uh, a part of the TIFAM, no one is saying anything about these people. So whenever in 20, 30 years somebody would want to know something, there would be nothing if it was not for TIFAM. So these people and the life of these people and the meaning of the life in sense of archery is preserved by our magazine and by our pages. So
yeah.
I think the main success that it is that we are here and we're still here and we're developing and we're trying to do more and more and more. Say.
Well, that's fantastic. What is the perception of this in your country? I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I think we are well established magazine now. We know across the association. I think I think Archer gets the magazines. They read the magazine. We have a few programs like emerging authors program, for example. So we have people that they come, but we have also youth coop for the young archers, not only for the sporting achievements but also for the community involvement. So I think the perception is very good. I think they are acknowledging us that we are here.
okay. How about the support from? I mean, you were talking about these old castles you have, and maybe or even some ruins. I mean, we talked privately a couple of days earlier about the emo area and this old how do you, where it's a big country house. I don't know to explain it correctly. I mean, are owners of these castles or the communities who own and also about some certain areas, are they supportive? Are they supporting TFAM when it comes to getting a practice area or maybe even a tournament area? How about that?
Andrew, maybe you want to say anything about the Roche family and Wexford House.
Yeah, there is some houses and some owners of big country houses that really welcome archery on their on their grounds. For example, there's one owned by the Roach family in Woodville House in New Ross. They have an active club around their grounds, which is great. They actively get involved. In fact, the owner will cut down a tree if it's needed to, or rearrange part of his ditches or land to suit this club. They tend to be very fun orientated. For example, we were at shoot about 2 weeks ago where they had pop and jay shots, they had moving targets, or they really pushed the boat out. They have some really ingenious members in their club that are good with electronics and
Right.
mechanisms. So it was great fun.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. Now, I mean, let's come to a really big reveal. As far as we know, TIFAM is going to host the European Traditional Open in 2027. We are incredibly excited about the upcoming event in Ireland. And we are really happy to bounce it here at T.A.I Talks. Do you think it will be a success?
Oh, I think otherwise we wouldn't be going for it. I hope it will be very big success, and I hope we can host a lot. We can have a lot of archers here from around the world. This is a island. It's how to say it? Island. It's a gem in a ward's crown. I would say uh, it's a very interesting and a very unique place, and whatever we can do, we would do just to show it to the rest of the world during the this event during the ETO 2027, and it will take place here in the central part of Ireland in Portlaoise, County Laois.
Yeah, I mean, Ireland has a unique story, and the Irish culture and language are part of the Celtic cultural heritage. I mean, also combined with its unique landscape and nature, as well, of course, as its music. The country is a magnet for many people. We are talking about approximately 11 million tourists annually. I mean, this is a huge number. I wasn't aware. I mean, everybody, when we're talking about vacation, going on holidays, Spain, Portugal, Greece, Italy, but Ireland, uh, I mean, it's a gem. I mean, really, I mean, 11 million tourists annually. This is a huge number, a really huge number. Do you think we will also inspire many artists to participate in the ETO 2027? I mean, we were talking about, Andrew.
Yeah, well, I'd be fully convinced and confident that we will get a very big turnout. Um, where the venue is going to be, that area is, we're in the middle of like Ireland's ancient east. We're in the middle of Ireland's hidden heartlands. There's a lot of so many different tourist opportunities, and you're really only a couple of hours from driving around to the coast as well. So there's we're not far. Like where Portlaoise is lovely in the center of the country. So
Yeah.
much history. We're hoping to get the tourist boards and all on board with us as well, and we're really going full hog on this. So yeah, 100%.
I would like to take a look at a short teaser for ETO 2027. This was created by one of your artists in collaboration with one of T.A.I.'s artists. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm starting with the next question. Ty is very much looking forward. We are hoping for a fantastic event. Do you already have any ideas for the artists about other sites events they can see or maybe attend after the ETO?
Well, yeah, we have few things up in our sleeve. I would say, first of all, like I said, uh, County Laois is it's not the biggest country here in Ireland, but it has a lot to offer. Around the Portlaoise, you mentioned it before. It's a emo court. It's a very old mansion with the beautiful parklands around and the woodlands. Then we have Strathbally Round Tower, which is also around 10 kilometers from Portlaoise. The other side, just of the town. Then we have Rock of Dunamace. It's a very old Norman castle.
Wow.
The ruins, but all of on the picturesque rock. So this is just like maybe 5 kilometers out on the outskirts of Portlaoise, and we have historical town of Abilix, the other town, historical town of Douro, where also are just outskirts of the Douro, the castle ruins. We have Haywood Gardens, So there is plenty of to see just in this county. And I think also for those who would like to stay longer after the ETO for the weekend, uh, we have up our sleeve something like South of Ireland tour with the archery involved actually. So it could be a joint thing. We could go and see some places around the Wexford, Waterford area, and also visit the clubs because there's 5 clubs there. So maybe they could join their own efforts and throw some nice shoot for the archers as a extra treat after the eating.
Yeah, and of course we had to keep it under wraps, so we haven't been able to really approach any of the clubs, but we'd hope that they would get involved, and I'm sure they would once they know how successful and how exciting this is going to be.
Yeah, thumbs up for that. Well, actually, gentlemen, thank you so far, but we're not finished yet. And also for everybody who likes our podcast, please subscribe down and push the button. It helps us, to get bigger. Let's go to the chimney room questions. We have a small category at the end of every interview. These are quite personal questions, maybe besides archery. Andrew, first, if you could choose which celebrity, no matter which field, music, science, or else, would you have dinner with?
Oh, that is very, very interesting. Wow, wow. Um, oh, there's so many. Do I just have to pick one?
Your most favorite celebrity?
Most favorite celebrity. Well, I love some of the more traditional actors, and obviously I'm archery orientated, so I would like to sit down with somebody likes of maybe Kevin Costner or some of those, But that's
I,
that's where my archery hat on. That is, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I figured something like this. When you started getting involved with archery, first thought Kevin Costner.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Martin, what about you?
No, it's so totally different. But uh, I don't have a preferences with a lot of like living idols. But if I would ever have a chance to sit and have a dinner with Oscar Wilde, I would be delighted. Really.
Wow, this is a really big
That
wow
would be
for me.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue with Martin. Second, if you could choose a favorite song as your personal national anthem, what would it be?
Uh, Maybe it's not very political, but but I would say it would be the Irish folk song "The Rake." It's basically about the young guy, young lad, who doesn't like to work much, but instead he is into drinking whiskey, Guinness, and acquainting himself with a certain type of ladies. If you know.
I got it. I got it. Andrew, what about you?
Oh, I suppose going I suppose Irish folk as well maybe. My song probably would be The Voyage, which is what we're going on, an adventure. So The Voyage, Christy Moore's The Voyage would be my song.
This is fantastic. Uh, Third question and the last question. Uh, Tell about your other hobbies and passions besides archery, Andrew, please.
Okay, well I have so many. Um I do some art. I like photography. I'm a DIYer. I love gardening. I have so many hobbies that I can't get a chance to do them all. Obviously, archery when I can. I love teaching archery. I love introducing people to the sport and showing them the bows and that glint in their face the first moment that somebody new to archery gets when they go, "Oh, I can do this," So that's I suppose 5 or 6 of my hobbies, but I love making things. Little challenges, so quizzes. I've so many hobbies.
Oh, that's
Not
awesome.
enough time.
That's awesome. Thank you. Martin, what about you?
So I have a one hobby, but through this one hobby, I have another one. So it's it's writing. So I'm usually I'm writing and I'm publishing, and through this, I can go and I can do like literary studies. I can do the history of art. I can do the history. I can do the archery writing. So there's a lot of things I can do, like a creative writing as well. That's my main hobby, writing.
I assumed something like this when you mentioned, it was Oscar Wilde. And of course, I assumed something like this. I mean, we know each other since quite a while, and so I know you're into writing. But this is fantastic. I mean, then also when it comes to the magazine, you have a lot of opportunity, of course, to publish what's going on with TIFAM. Gentlemen, it was a great pleasure for me to have you here on this panel. Thank you so much that you took your time, to answer some questions Ty had for your Ty talks. And I'm very sure we will see each other pretty soon. And again, for all our audience, if you like this channel, just push the button and subscribe to our channel. And gentlemen, again, thank you very much, and have a good day and a good night.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.